Difficult times are when heroes are made. What made any great woman or man is not what they did in the times of goodness, it was how they used and leveraged hard times to make them braver. So hard times don't feel good, but if you have a mentality of how can I use what I'm experiencing as fuel to help me grow in my mindset, heart set, health set, soul set, then you're gonna come out of this, and this will end, born anew.
Every day, feed your mind with words that you write and words that you hear and words that you speak to yourself. Feed your faith and your doubts will starve to death. Every day, it's a selling job on you. Say to yourself, it's possible. I can do this. I can make this happen. No matter how bad it is or how bad it gets, I'm going to make it. Even when you have no evidence to point to, say to yourself, it's possible. There's nothing as powerful as a made-up mind. If you're going through some stuff right now, listen to me. Trouble does not last always. Judge not according to appearances, and say to yourself, I'm going to get through this. I'm not going to allow this to get the best of me.
Listen to me. Pain ain't permanent. Your pain ain't permanent. Your pain ain't permanent. You can get through this. You bigger than your pain. You better than that.
Use what you're dealing with to become stronger. You can choose to see it as adversity and disruption, or you can choose to see it as opportunity. Victims see problems as problems. Leaders are constantly exploiting challenges as opportunities.
And the key is keep the faith, baby. Keep the faith. Keep the faith that this too shall pass. Keep the faith that you are more than a conqueror. Keep the faith that is greater is he that is in you than he that's in the world. Keep the faith that you have the power to snatch victory from the jaws of defeat.
I'm telling you right now, don't give up. Don't give in. Get through it. And if you can get through it, if you can work through your pain, I'm guaranteeing you on the other side is a reward.
Most people truly don't understand what real commitment means. Anything worthwhile is going to be uncomfortable. Any goal that you want to achieve that's worthwhile in your life require all-in effort. I mean, jump in the pool and make yourself swim. If you're not willing to go all the in on every single thing that you need to do to get where you want to be for 5-10 years, you ain't gonna get there.
All in. We've got to be all in on our ventures. If you're in the game, make sure you're in it all the way, and then that game will be your game.
When you start grinding, when you start waking up early, when you start keeping your word to yourself, to your boss, when you going to 120, when you all in by any means necessary, you start seeing stuff and you start experiencing stuff and you start having stuff that people who are not doing that, they never get.
And I promise you, when I go out, I will be the best version of me. When I go out with my son, with my daughter, and with my wife saying, our husband gave 120%. A game, all I got is an A game. I ain't got a B game. I ain't got a C game. When I finish, people are relying on me. The difference between me and most people is you might be sweeter than me. You might be bigger than me. You might grind. You might have money, but you will not outwork me. Every single time. This is an opportunity of a lifetime, and I'm gonna take advantage of it. The bigger your dream is, the more effort you're gonna have to put in. And I get what I get because I live in beast mode. Y'all gotta do me a favor. Stop being gazelle. You're not average. There's nothing about you that's average. You're not even good. You were born to be great. For those of you who are 70% beast mode, 30% gazelle, that's just enough for that other person to outdo you. What do you do when you're not the only one that wants to make $1 million in your company? You're not the only one that wants to be the CEO. What if you're not the only one that wants what you want? What if there are thousands of other people who want what you want? You have to outwork them. You gotta outgrind them. You've gotta execute, and you've gotta go from 70 to 120.
How many of you can honestly look yourself in the mirror and say, I am doing my best? Because if you can, you're fucking lying to yourself. Your best is a moving, evolving, changing scale. You can always do better. You could always do more. You could always improve. You could always find a way to get a better result and to sharpen your skills. You guys are always looking for that extra thing. I'm gonna read this book, I'm gonna buy this program, I'm gonna join this mastermind group, I'm gonna go to this seminar. None of those things will replace the fucking work. There is no shortcut. There is no way to make it faster. There is no way to make it easier. You've got to do the fucking work. You can't go through life looking to do the minimum and get the maximum. If you want the maximum, you gotta fucking do the maximum.
There's somebody out there who wants your spot. You're not the only one trying to go to Harvard. You're not the only one trying to go to the NBA. You're not the only one trying to go to the NFL. And so you gotta embody excellence. You gotta go a little further than the man who's trying to get what you're trying to get. I dare you to try to get to success without excellence. I dare you to try to shortcut success. I dare you to try to shortchange success. It's not going to happen. There are no shortcuts to success. You can't go around it. You can't go under it. You can't go over it. The only way you can get to it is through it. Every single day you wake up, you got to give it all you got. You got it 120%. Don't fool yourself into thinking that this year is going to be better than last year if you're still making excuses. There are no excuses. You got to work for it. You got to put forth 120%. You can have it, you can be it, you can do it. But you got to accept the challenge.
What are you doing to make your next effort your best effort? Are you reaching deep down inside to fight through everything that you're going through right now? Or are you settling to be where you are at this current moment? Now is not the time to complain. Now is the time to maintain that dream. You need to work an hour longer. You need to run just a little faster. You need to put 5 more pounds on the rack. That's the effort you need to be great. That's the sacrifice that you have to put in order for you to get to the next level that you need to be at, in order for you to be remembered.
Most of us aren't defeated in one decisive battle. We are defeated one seemingly insignificant surrender at a time that chips away at who we should really be. We miss a workout, then another. We start to eat what we shouldn't eat and drink what we shouldn't drink. And without realizing it, one day you wake up and you've become something that you never would have allowed. So you have to be vigilant. You have to be on guard. You have to hold the line on the seemingly insignificant little things that shouldn't matter, but things that do. Get stronger, get better, grow and learn and develop and live. Live in defiance of the weakness and in rebellion against the decay. Hold the line.
The key to success is not having the perfect plan. It's not knowing what to do. It's doing the when you don't know what to do. People that succeed do and people that don't succeed talk about what can go wrong doing Sometimes you're gonna step in a pothole. Sometimes you're gonna sprain an ankle. Sometimes you're gonna fall on your face. Sometimes you're gonna go 10 miles in one direction and realize you went the wrong fucking way. But you're still gonna be better off than the person who's sitting back, twiddling their fucking thumbs, saying, well, I could have done that if I really wanted to, like everybody else. Quit analyzing everything in your life with the question of what if, what if, what if. Start fucking doing shit. Because until you start doing shit, you are just like everybody else. You've got a choice. Do something or fucking be like everybody else.
The question is not, is it possible for you to have all your dreams become a reality in your lifetime? Yes, it is possible. But the real question you should be asking yourself, because it's not about potential, you got a lot of it. The question is, have you made the decision? The way I went from the bottom to the top is one day I went all in. Are you hearing me? I made a decision and I left my job. I stopped playing video games. I stopped eating certain things. I stopped doing certain things. I made sacrifice. I went all in. Once you make a decision and you go all in and you saying, I ain't quitting till I get there. I ain't giving up. I ain't giving in. I'll do whatever it takes. Whatever it takes. I'll do whatever it takes to be successful. And when you make that decision, when you look you in the mirror, when you tell yourself that, look, I'm through, I will do whatever it takes, I guarantee you, that's the day your dream begins to happen.
Motivation gets you going, discipline keeps you growing. Here we are, it's the first week of the new year, and what do? At the first of the year, we make New Year's resolutions. We got this fresh year, we got a new start, here I go. That's January, and then February comes. They say that it takes 17 days to forget the resolution that we make in the first of the year. We were good for a couple weeks. What's that? That's the spurt. But you really get good, not by being good just in a spurt, but you really get good by being consistent. If there is any success that I've had, I can promise you it goes to the fact I understood the value of process and day in and day out being consistent. I just keep doing the same thing over and over and over again. That's it. It'll take a while, maybe take a year, maybe take 10 years, I don't know. But here's what we know. If you do it every day works. Some day doesn't. You just need to every day do it.
Nothing in this world can take the place of persistence. Talent will not. Nothing is more common than unsuccessful people with talent. Genius will not. Unrewarded genius is almost a proverb. Education will not. The world is full of educated derelicts. Persistence and determination alone are omnipotent. Energy and persistence conquer all things. Strategy is one step, but execution is the escalator. Because execution requires you got to keep taking the steps, even when the steps look like you aren't going anywhere. Even if you're taking a step and seeing the same thing, keep taking the steps. Faith is taking the first step when you can't see the staircase. Keep taking the steps.
When you're on the road to success, you will have downfalls. You will have times where you're hurt. You will have people who talk about you. You will have those hard days. But in those moments, that's what makes you great. That's what takes you from greatness to being a legend. When you don't know where else to turn, look within. Find that inner champion inside. There is always another level that you can reach. This is just a battle, and you will overcome. Never doubt yourself. Never look down on yourself, but look up and see how far you can go. Success is at the end of the tunnel, and greatness is waiting for you.
You have to get in the fight, stay in the fight, see what you want, and attack it, and don't stop until you achieve your goals. When you see something that you want and you're very passionate about it, go after it. Don't let anything stop you from getting it.